Good day everyone, I am JAMERO with my partner HERNAN, and today's topic is all about The Fisherman by Kiukok. In loop number 1, the main figure of the artwork are the fishermen hovering their net in the morning. The net and fishes they harvest influence the circumstance of the painting. The material used in this painting is oil on canvas in the Cubist expressionism style. Using oil in the painting brings out the symbol of constancy that the artist wanted to express. The dominant elements in the artwork are shape and colors. The element shape used to portray the fisherman that inspired movement in the painting. The color represents the surroundings and species, the struggle of the fishermen in their daily life. The artist also used the line to give emphasis on the message he wanted to rely on us. The hand of the fisherman holding the net full of fish make the painting full and beautiful depict a powerful movement or action. Since the artwork has a Cubist expressionism style, the variation are the different perspective of the fisherman in the painting. In question number 2, see the shapes and image found in the painting. Made in 1981, ang Kiukok's painting is measured at 40 times 80 inches, which makes significantly wide artwork that can decorate adequately spacious wall. The painting depicts a group of 3 fishermen catching several fish with a large net during what appears to be a late afternoon, as a blood-red sun holds up in the center of the artwork amidst an entirely dark brown background. The 3 fishermen are all naked and pass abstract anatomy and are portrayed in imposing but awkward poses. The fisherman on the leftmost part of the canvas is the most ordinary looking out of the trio. He stands up and tall, a shadow blanketing his face, and much of his arms stretch a triangular shaped net. In the triangle-like space in between his 2 legs is a singular large fish hopping in mid-air as it is caught by the man's portion of the net. The second fisherman, who is the most awkwardly posed of all the 3, can be found occupied the very center of the canvas as he takes most of the painting space, his right leg solely stretching to the right where the third fisherman can be found. The fisherman is drawn with strange anatomy. His head is patch blank, almost if it weren't. There is both his left arm's shoulder and right arm's elbow occupy the space where his head was supposed to be. His left appears to be on the inside of the net, beside 3 fish on their right, while his right leg is outside of the net, extending towards the third fisherman to his right. Third fisherman is the tallest of the trio, found to the rightmost area of the canvas. The third fisherman's back is hunched and his egg-shaped head lacks a face and is completely flat. His body is thin and very straight, almost as if he were a lamp post. His 2 arms are stretched out, forming a triangular space as he stretched out a net in which 3 gray red-eye fish are trapped. His 2 bamboo legs appear unusually squished in a single area, as if they are being squished into a single narrow space by the middle fisherman. Much of the painting is orange and yellow light is found in the triangular or pyramidal space of a large and wide fishing net, their composition made as if to give a viewer an illusion of 3D spaces in the flat oil painting.
Ang Kiukok is widely considered one of the leading modernist painter in the Philippines. Born of Chinese descent and worried about China's fate amidst the turbulent political climate. His father named his Kiukok, which means save the country, and came of age during the divisive period of post-WWII and coming from a strict Chinese upbringing and background. It was particularly difficult for and to become an artist due to familial pressure to choose a proper career or vocation. Nevertheless, and preserve enthusiastically observing influences from the modern art movement and fusing this with subject matters close to his heart. He eventually became an acclaimed artist within the Philippines, embraced by a local Chinese community, and was even invited to exhibit with the Chinese artist Legwei in Taiwan as his career began to gain momentum. Ang's work are strongly influenced by modern and Cubist expression, particularly reminiscent of Mexican artist Rufino Tamayo. As a young artist, Ang studied with Cubist pioneer Vicente Manansala. However, unlike Manansala, Ang's work are not obviously changed with social or political messaging, and he refrained from painting genre scenes. Ang prefers instead to focus on object or scene which could be purely abstracted, still lifes, animals, people, landscapes, or views through open windows. Particularly, the granulated texture of his brushwork became a primary characteristic of Ang's. The objectivity of his content is constructed against the strength of the emotional response simulated by the subject. A slithering dog, a cat with racing hackles, or a man caught in a silent scream. The subjects are quintessentially Filipino in nature, but born of a subtle love for commonly seen thing or people rather than a dramatized ideal or society eulogy. Yet, and capture the underlying sentiments, thought, hard-edged expressionism nature of his painting, which symbolize the do or die atmosphere of 20th century Philippines. A faithful Catholic, and created works referencing parable from the Bible. In the present lot fisherman, the reference could be alluded to the parable with Jesus as fishermen with empty catches to cast their nets into the sea, and to their amazement, the nets come up filled with bountiful harvest from the sea. Ang paints with a foundation of religiosity but approaches it through the eagle eye of his artistic vision. Strong colors, dense geometric lines, and boxy shapes are hallmarks of his practice, with the figure perhaps representing the artist, with his deep-seated conviction of faith amidst his own spiritual journey.